Yeah, we can jump right in, bro.
All right, cool. So my name is Exhibit. This is Exhibit and Friends, and today we have Mike Floss, all the way from Nashville. Can you, just for people that may not be in the know, can you just really quickly introduce yourself? Uh, Touch on
Yeah,
something.
I'm Mike Floss. I'm a rapper, producer, fan of movies, fashion, food, and all of the above. You know what I'm saying? I make music, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I guess what I'm trying to do is basically get more people to hear my music, share my story
Mhm.
with the world, and see the world along the way.
Okay, that's what's up. And so I recently read that you're in your creative progress, especially now with this, or at least with the most recent project, that you're focusing more on production, right? And uh,
Yeah.
has this been, is this still the same? Are you still production focused, and will this kind of carry over?
For sure. I mean, I'm still working with other producers. I'm still co-producing, um, working with musicians, and just really fleshing out the sound, I guess.
Hmm.
So me kind of being the orchestrator of it, though. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'm
Yeah.
doing a lot less of like getting beats that are all the way done already and just rapping on them. I still do that too, but I'm not doing it
Yeah.
that much. Yeah.
Okay. So then can you dive a little bit more into your creative process? Exactly how do you I guess Tennessee Daydreams use that for example. How did you go into the whole um you know, how did you flesh that out?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
The first parts of it was really me just going over to Six Sense crib. One of the homies he produces. He's done a lot of like really big records and stuff. I would go over to his crib and just start going through beats that he had started on,
Hmm.
and we were just kind of looking for sounds, looking for things that kind of stuck out. He was the person that I started going back and forth with. But with his schedule being so crazy, like I think at that time, Khalid's location was going crazy at that time. He was super busy working on a lot of other stuff. So he would
Mm.
like load me up on a flash drive, like, yo, take these, get started on these, and then we'll regroup, which eventually turned into me getting more ideas as I'm writing the songs. I'm like, yo, I think I want to go to this person to put some drums on this. And I would hit up Ducko or or Mike Ewan or somebody like, yo, I want you to put some drums on it. Here's my song references. Like I need something that kind of feels like these records. And just started orchestrating the music that
Hmm.
way. Then it turned into me writing the song up front and having maybe two or three production pieces that I put on there just as a reference, and taking that around with all the lyrics and the vocals on it already, and then taking that around to producers and kind of fleshing it out piece by piece, having people play different instruments on it, stuff like that. So that's where I kind of accidentally learned how to do that during Tennessee Daydreams, just because I
Mm.
didn't want to have to wait on anybody to like finish something they were doing to, for me to be a priority. Like as a smaller
Hmm.
artist, you got people winning Grammys with winning Grammys with people, like you can't expect them to just stop what they're doing to work.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I was
I
just
see.
pushing forward what I got.
Okay, so you kind of just took matters into your own hands.
Yeah.
That's that's pretty cool. So then I gotta ask, because you said you bring these ideas, you kind of shop them around to different people and kind of piece them all together. So I graduated Belmont, the college in Nashville, music focused college in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I left like right after because there wasn't a hip hop scene uh,
Yeah.
that I can really, find. I mean, there was, I knew some hip hop artists and like the studios and whatnot, but not much of a scene that was really booming,
Yeah.
um, relatively speaking. So I got to ask you, like, you're saying with this whole creative process, is it hard as an established hip hop artist to maintain, uh, a career in Nashville?
You got to move around. Like you can't just. I think it's not just a Nashville thing. I think it's like everywhere I've been to, people have the same story where it's like there's no hip hop unless you're in like Atlanta, LA, New
Mm-hmm.
York, or maybe Chicago. Like there's a few places. Florida now it's got the big underground scene, but except for a few places, man, every other city in America is like there's no scene there either. So you can't really use that as an excuse because it's so common for 80% of the country. So you got to just move around. You got to go different places and learn. You got to try to get a show or two out of town and just do a show with 15 people in the room and try to turn it into something. Like if you can do it, if it's financially, viable. But I think for me, there is a scene. It's growing and it's kind of been there for a while, but it's just the artists in Nashville haven't really exploded yet. So the scene is very self-contained. If you know about it, you know about it. Or if you're a fan of one particular artist, you might be able to, do a little bit of research on who they follow, who they, tweeting back and forth with or whatever.
Yeah.
And that'll kind of let you know where everything is happening at. But it's definitely a scene there. It's just it's not a national or like a global scene yet.
Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of artists in Nashville that, only Nashville people really know about, but because it's a music city, I mean, they are professional, talented musicians, but they just maybe haven't, like you said, move on to that global scale. So it's kind of brings me to my next question as far as, musically speaking, what do you think Nashville needs the most, that can help their musicians?
You mean like with rappers or like with anybody?
Yeah, I guess, in your case, it would be, I guess, but just musicians in general, maybe like a new kind of festival, like focused around rap music or maybe a record label or, like what exactly does Nashville need to at least focus on to kind of improve? Yeah, let's focus on improve the rap scene,
I think the focus, honestly, is connecting with artists in different cities, connecting with producers in different cities and states, and bringing light to the scene when you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm working with somebody in Atlanta, maybe I should throw the homie from Nashville on this song too. Or if it's not always the right fit sound-wise, like just figure out a way to kind of keep that conversation going and to spread it so people know that it's happening. You just got to be vocal about it and you got to move around. Like that staying in one place thing, like it don't work. Like it doesn't really work in Nashville. People have been trying to do it since, we was little kids. And yeah, if you got money and you got a record that's really, really like, you got a song that's really exploding, then yeah, you can do it. But if you don't have them two things and you got to build it one fan at a time, like you just got to go out there and spread the word.
I got you. Okay. All right. Well, let's, switched up a little bit. Move on to your music video for Freak of the Week. Looked like a lot of fun, a lot of fun to make. I just want to ask, like, what was it like and maybe the inspiration behind it?
Man, the inspiration for that was Gucci's pre-fall 2017 collection. And it was like, it was they had all of these, it was like all black models that did the content for that collection from Gucci. And I saw it and it was like, I'm into fashion or whatever. So I saw it and it was just so inspiring to see because you don't really see that on a high fashion scale. And if you do see it, it's not from a brand that's that big.
Yeah.
Like it'll be a newer brand. It won't be something that's that, been in Saks for that many decades. So I saw that and it just stuck with me. It always stuck with me. I've used clips of it with stage visuals and different stuff because it was just so fresh to see. I like stuff that just you look at it and it makes your eyes feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I'm all about it. So I saw that and I was like, man, I think what I want to do is like this Soul Train thing and like just do this real 70s kind of feeling thing, but just make sure everybody's dressed, according to decade. Of course, I don't have the bread like Gucci has to put everybody in, what I'm saying, sequin jackets and all of that. But
yeah,
it was a start, and I really liked the way it turned out because when we were filming it, we had a whole plan. We had the whole video mapped out, every single second of the video pretty much. But when people got there, bro, they just started kicking it. Like it was no stopping the party. Like we were playing 70s music through the sound system. Like, so it's not like for the majority of the video, like people are dancing and stuff. It was like between takes, like when we're supposed to be setting up a shot for something else, and people just want to keep kicking it. So I went over to Nigel, who directed it. I was like, bruh, never mind the plans. We're gonna keep the party going this whole time, and we'll set up some stuff. But like, this is the vibe right now. Like, this is people genuinely was having fun. Like you can't script that. You can't script actual fun. So
wow. Okay.
yeah, it was dope.
That sounds pretty. That's a good call. It's kind of like that oldie video with Odd Future. You know, they showed up.
Oh
with, yeah, the photo op and said made it a music video. That's dope. I really fucked with that. And then you said, you mentioned it's kind of inspired by Gucci, and I noticed that you're pretty big. At least you post a lot about fashion and some shoes as well. I wanted to ask you. I mean, do you collect sneakers? Are you a sneakerhead?
Man, I don't. I get rid of. I can't say I'm a sneakerhead because I feel like I just don't have the volume. Like I've bought a lot of sneakers over time, and either I'll give them away, or I'll end up hooping in them or something and just beat them to death or whatever it is. So I kind of keep like a good 10 pair in rotation at all times. Not like like real sneakerheads, like they be having hundreds of like I'm not at that level. And it wouldn't be smart for me to be like, I got mixes to pay for, I got videos to pay for. Like I can't get into it like I need to just yet. But for sure, I've been on sneakers for a minute.
Okay, what's like your favorite 10 pairs is a lot of. I don't think I got. I don't think I got 10 pairs. Maybe somewhere close, but anyways, what is your like favorite cop that you've had over the years?
My favorite is I just got them a couple weeks ago. The new Pierre Moss Reeboks.
Pierre Moss Reeboks. Bro, hold on. I gotta look this up.
Yeah, P-Y-E-R.
P-Y-E-R.
Moss. Yeah, the Experiment 4 is the best. I think that's the sneaker of the year.
Bro, yeah, the black, pink, and gold.
They're actually, I think they're orange. I don't think they have it. Yeah.
Damn, man, these look nice. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like I'm still rocking some NMDs that I got a while ago.
Yeah,
it's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up with the whole sneaker game, bro.
It's expensive, bro. It's expensive.
Yeah, facts. Well, okay. And then I see also that you have a a show coming up with Cherub, right? For New Year's.
Yeah, that's the
homies. About that.
Yeah, for sure. They took me on my first tour, I think in like 2017, and they were just super cool. Like they're real music heads. Like they listen to all kind of stuff. If you listen to their music, like you can hear a lot of different influences, whether it's from Prince or from rock artists or whatever.
Okay.
And of course hip hop too. So they opened their arms to me, man, early, and I've made some music with them and stuff like that. But yeah, New Year's Eve is gonna be crazy. In Nashville, that's gonna be a vibe.
Dang, that sounds amazing. Do you still get nervous, for not still, but maybe do you get nervous before a show?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of nervous though. It's not so much a worry about like if it's gonna go well. It's just like that. It's more so like just energy that you're not able to release yet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's kind of like before you go to the gym or something, or like it's just this energy like I'm about to do something physical. You know what I'm saying? All to something. So I definitely still get that. And I don't know if that really ever goes away if you love what you're doing. I don't think. I used to be like, no, I don't get nervous, but it's not. I think it's just so much like the language. I think the language might be a little bit off. It's not so much nervousness as much as it is just like a certain energy.
Okay, I see. It's kind of like you're a little bit anxious, before you get on. And
now sometimes I do be nervous though. Like if it look like it's not about to go right, like sometimes you be in the city and it's like I don't know how this is gonna go, bro. Gonna try these raps. I don't know.
Just throw it up and hope for the best. I mean, that's understandable. If you're trying something new, then I totally get it. But either way, I couldn't imagine performing in front of people like that. Even if like I've mastered the songs, it's my own songs. Like, nah, bro.
You still make mistakes. You still, you still are, because more of the show than it is like rapping, it's like reading the crowd. So I'm constantly like watching, like, what's this group of people over here doing? Who's reacting? Who's not moving? How do I engage them? That's what you're thinking about. You're not really thinking about the lyrics or like the music at that point. It's over. You think about that stuff when you practice. At this point, it's just all about like reading that crowd and figuring out how to control it.
I see. Okay, that's good. If I ever got like a TED Talk or something, I'm gonna keep that in mind. And then I also want to ask about this. On the Instagram, I noticed they kind of been posting this camera roll series. I think the most recent one you posted, it's like took a shot at Jesus is King. So I gotta double check on that one, but I wanted to see if you can elaborate more on what that is. Just like where exactly these photos and what's inspiring the post.
It's just stuff like I either take on my camera or on my phone. Like I see different. I'm inspired by architecture a lot of times. So like just the shapes of things, like just visually pleasing things. I just love to look at them, and I found myself taking pictures of stuff and just holding it in my phone. I was like, man, I'm gonna find like the coolest pictures I take from like different places I go and just start posting them on IG because I think it's cool to see.
I got you. Yeah, it's cool. I just I saw them. I'm like, what is it? Like like they're nice, like they're aesthetically pleasing photos. But I just wanted to see what the series was about. But I got you.
No, that's just me being a fake photographer, bro. That's all it is.
iPhones now, bro, the cameras on those things, anybody, as long as you own one, anybody could be a photographer.
Yeah, as long as you know how to line up what you're looking at, you're in the game.
Exactly. All right, man. Well, I want to wrap it up. A couple more questions. 2020 plans. What do you got planned for, that you can at least share for next year?
So much music, bro. Like, I'm at the point right now where I'm trying to figure out, do I want to put out like a song every week, or do I want to stretch it out, maybe drop 2 songs at a time every 2 weeks or something? Like, I have so much music. I spent a lot of time this year. Like, I don't have a label or like any backing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing everything out of pocket. And what I think is required of that is you got to be smart. But you also had to like make really good quality product. So I've been focusing a lot of my time like with the production and everything and just learning more about myself and how to use my voice better and things like this to take it to a place where money can't really buy. I feel like the music will speak for itself. Of course, you got to do everything else to come along with it, all the bells and whistles, but I want to just make really great music, and that's what my agenda is. And some of the music I have, it may not be a 10 out of 10, but I'm letting that go too. Like, I'm unloading the hard drive. Like, this music ain't doing no good sitting on my computer. So I'm putting out a whole lot of music. And I got some stuff I really, really believe in that's coming. And it'll be, like, I don't think I'm going to stop releasing music next year.
Okay, yeah, you said a track a week? That's a lot. That's a lot of music.
Yeah. But, it's not that much if you think about it, though, because, like, if you make a song every single day, right, just one. You make one song every day for a year, and it's only 56 weeks in a year. You don't even have to release but, like, what is that, not even a third. You know what I'm saying? That's like 25% of what you created. And as long as you've got a high shooting percentage, good. Like, you just got to pick and choose what you feel like should happen,
Okay. I got you. That's kind of what I keep bringing this dude up, but Russ kind of had a similar strategy to that. I think he was like like several times a week, dude, and just like hoping they would stick. But they went gold by the time he went,
Yeah, and like that catalog, like I definitely be listening to his business tips and all of that. Yeah. Like, we be putting a lot of gems out there because it's not really that hard to do. It's just about dedication. It's just about being consistent and saying, that's when everything changed for me, bro. I got to 2018 and I was like, this year I'm not finna work my job no more at some point during this year. And only thing I knew to do to get to that point is I'm gonna make a song every day. Like that's my plan right now. And then as things pop up, cool. But eventually I got into a place where I was able to quit my job, and that's what really made me think, okay, now we can do something. Because
that's gotta be a good feeling.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's a blessing, man. I'm really it's fortunate. It's very fortunate. So, I'm rich by no means. I live a very regular life, but it's good to do music for a living,
Yeah, I mean that's that dedication you're talking about. It's paying off. That's good though, but it's not easy at the same time. But
right, it's just you gotta be serious about it.
Yeah. So I like that. And then I got one more question. Really, it's not really I guess it's kind of a question, but Free Love, because I always want to end it on a philosophical kind of note, but in one of your interviews, you talked about your song Free Love, and you said that I think it was everybody deserves to be loved and to give love, correct? Am I butchering that?
I'm not even sure, bro. You might not be. I don't know.
Dude.
It sounds accurate.
It was amazing. It was like you've learned that everybody deserves to give love or to learn to give love and to receive love.
Yeah.
Dang, I was gonna ask
Yeah, that sounds like me. That sounds like me.
But I was gonna ask, where did that come from? How did you learn something like that?
Man, getting into a relationship with a solid woman. That's what it is. Like my girlfriend Charity, she's an artist too, and she put me up on a lot of game. Like for me, I was never like a relationship type of person. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the agenda of one day I want to get married. Like that was never my mindset. But it's more so about the people that you're in relationship with, and not even just romantically, just whether it's family, friends, business, whatever. It's about what the value of the relationship really is. What's the capital in that relationship? And with most human relationships, the only real capital that we have to receive and give is love anyway. Because if you take somebody's job away, they ain't got no money, they can't do nothing for you, they ain't got no car. What can they give you? They wake up in the morning breathing. What is something that you have in your personal human bank that you can share with another person? You know what I'm saying? That you really have control over. And that's really love. That's just about it. And it's a thing to give love, but it's also a thing to be able to receive it. Because if you can't receive it, then even if you're constantly pouring into other people, you constantly, being selfless and sacrificing your time and whatever. But if you don't know how to receive it back, you're gonna constantly feel empty, constantly. You're not gonna be at a place of happiness, no matter how good you are to others, no matter how good people's being to you, because you're gonna feel like you got nothing. And people might be giving it to you, and they don't even know you feeling like that. That's why you're depressed. You know what I'm saying? It's people like you so much, people treat you so well, but. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why people be depressed, but it's definitely a cause of depression for me is not knowing how to receive, even if it's as simple as compliments. I'm saying it took me forever to figure out how to receive a compliment. I used to deflect them because I felt like it was arrogant to take a compliment. And it's just your mentality changes when you get in a relationship with the right people. So.
That's bro. That's pretty much exactly what you said in the last interview. Well, not exactly, but I just want to hear you touch up on that. I thought that was really interesting about how everybody needs to also receive love as well as give love, because not everybody gives love, enough as it is, but surely as hell probably don't receive, the love, and that's probably why they're not giving it. So I just thought that was interesting. Never really thought about that, the whole being able to receive love. But not a lot of people can.
Find you a black woman that's gonna teach you.
Well, they're magical out here, man. They're magical. It's not easy. It's not easy. But bro, that's facts. That's facts. They want to teach you a whole lot. They want to love you. They want to respect you. They want to care for you. Damn. Show you how to receive love. All right, man. Well, unless there's anything you wanna shout out that maybe I didn't touch up on.
Shout out to Exhibit&Friends. Thank you for hitting me up, bro. I'm happy to talk with you anytime, man. I like talking to people. I'm not the biggest fan of interviews, but I'm a huge fan of conversation, and this was definitely Good conversation, bro. I appreciate you.
I fuck with it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, hey, likewise, man. I'd like to have you here on any time, man. Just knock on my door.